In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace a rear flex hose in this Volkswagen Beetle. This one's going to be behind the rear wheels. Let's get into it. Remove the wheel. I'm going to use a 17mm socket. If you have a center cap, you want to pop that off. Take the lug bolts out. When I get to the last one, I'm just going to hold the wheel on so it doesn't fall, and take the wheel off. Now we want to disconnect the ABS sensor right here, wheel speed sensor, push down on the tab, and give it a wiggle. Should be able to slide it out. Slide that off. And over here there's a grommet. Slide the grommet out of the bracket and set that aside. This brake hose is not the original type. It should have a brake line that goes through this little bracket right here, over here to this other bracket over here. You want to pop it out of those brackets. You can just use a small screwdriver. Just pop those out. The way the line should come through this little bracket right here, and then this hose should attach right there. You're going to use an 11mm wrench or a line wrench, and then unscrew that right there. Take that off, and then you can disconnect the connector right there. That's the way it should be. Again, this hose is not the correct hose for the vehicle, so this does not come off right there. Where the brake line comes into this hose up top, I'm going to use an 11mm line wrench. Loosen that up. Make sure you have a drain bucket underneath because you're going to lose some fluid. Make sure your reservoir is full of fluid, your brake fluid reservoir. There we go. You pull that line out right there. If you have a little cap, you want to put it over there so it stops it from dripping, just temporarily anyway. Using a 13mm socket, I'm going to take this bolt out of this bracket. Slides down. You can see there's a clip right there. We want to take that clip off. It's a little bit rusty on this one. Just going to use a pry bar and just give it a little tap. Try to pop this out. Pop that clip off and take the line out of the bracket. There we go. Pop that out. Using a 13mm socket, we can take the banjo bolt out. Make sure you have a drain bucket underneath. You're gonna drip some fluid. Make sure that washer is right there, or that seal. And pull the line right out. Take the new line and hose. You want to make sure you slide this part down into the bracket underneath. And then this is going to clamp on right there. And right here. Clip that in place. And take the hose, make sure you have your two seals, one on the top, one on the bottom. Get this started here. Snug that up. Just snug this down. After you're done, make sure you clean this off, take it for a road test, double check and make sure this isn't leaking. If it is, snug it up a little bit more. Now with the bracket, we're going to take the hose, it's going to slide through the bracket. Take this clip right here, that's going to slide through there. Push it on, lock it in place. You would have another clip that goes on this side, but it's missing, so we have to get one. We can slide this up here. What we'll do is take the cap off that line. We'll get this started. It'll be easier to get it started like this. If you tip it down. That close, and take the bolt, get that lined up, snug that down. Take this line, it's going to go through this bracket. Just pop that cap off there, through that bracket. Then you would put that other clip on. And get this started. And tighten that down. Make sure that's snug. Then go up to the top one. And make sure this is snug. And snug those up. Once you're done, you want to clean these up, take it for a ride, and double check, make sure these are not leaking. If they are a little wet, you want to snug those up a little more. Take the ABS wheel speed sensor wire, push the rubber grommet in there, and connect the connector. Lock it down. Now we're going to bleed the brakes. It's a good idea to have an assistant with you pumping the brake pedal while you're opening and closing the valve. So go ahead and pump the brakes 3 times, nice and slow, nothing crazy. All right, pump it a couple more. I can see the caliper's not full of fluid yet, so we're going to wait for the caliper to fill up. And you want to make sure the master cylinder has plenty of fluid in it. There we go. We can see it's starting to move. It's pumping up with fluid. All right, one more time. Yeah, hold it. Hold it. While they're holding it, I'm going to open the bleeder. We've got some air out. Now we'll close the bleeder. All right, go ahead and pump it up 3 times. And hold it. Nice clear fluid. All right, go ahead, pump it up. And hold it. Now I don't see any bubbles, so we'll close it up, and that should be good. Normally about 3 times bleeding it will do the trick. Snug that up. Now put the tire up. Put the lug bolts in. Snug these down. Now we're going to torque these lug bolts to 89 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. Go around again, double check. After you're done, you want to double check and adjust the brake fluid level. There's the master right there. Make sure it's up close to the max line.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.